My name is Ike Obi. I'm a certified instructor for the CPI, Crisis Prevention Institute. I'm also directly employed by Guys and St Thomas's NHS Foundation Trust in London, England, United Kingdom. The CPI has had a huge impact on our staff and the way they manage patients on a day-to-day basis. Crime figures for assaults on staff had drastically reduced once the CPI was introduced to staff in the hospital. The notion of care, welfare, safety and security for everyone involved in the crisis situation has really influenced a lot of members of staff on the way they deal with patients and relatives, because most of the time violent incidents normally occur from relatives influencing patients and sometimes from relatives directly. Now the course, Crisis Prevention Institute, which is called the Conflict Resolution here at Guys and St Thomas's Trust, is a course that has changed so many lives here at Guys and St Thomas's NHS Foundation Trust. Most staff now know how to read body languages. Most staff now put into consideration precipitating factors which might have an impact on the way patients behave. And most staff as well are aware of their behavior and how their behavior can affect other people's behavior, especially patients who have terminal illnesses. Now the CPI has done immensely well in reducing the assault levels on staff, whereby making it possible for staff to identify violence before it escalates and attempt to de-escalate it and prevent injuries. And also not just being able to de-escalate violence, but also being able to establish a near to perfect rapport with their patients and the relatives. The CPI has also done a lot in my life working in this organization. Without the CPI, I wouldn't have been able to address a multitude of people. But once I trained with the Crisis Prevention Institute and became a certified instructor, it's had a huge impact in my life in the way I deliver the training to trust members of staff and also to other members of staff externally outside GSTT. Now, there's one thing I have to say about the CPI. Crisis Prevention Institute is one of the best training sessions that anyone who comes across any forms of violence at work, at school, at home can use to diffuse and de-escalate violence. Keeping in mind that we have about 9,000 members of staff that work here at Guys St Thomas's Hospital. So it's a training session that goes on about 3 times a week to deliver to staff. And keeping in mind we have a turnover as well of members of staff. And each member of staff that goes through or attends the conflict resolution training, which came from the CPI, always testifies to great importance and great influences had in their lives, not just at work, but also outside work. I would like to thank you all for listening to my presentation, and I wish you all the very best for the season. Thank you very much. Ike Obi, Certified Instructor.